This is the second video on linear discriminant analysis, and in this video, we are going to I am going to explain the working of linear discriminant analysis when there are more than one input variables are present, and one of the modified version of the linear discriminant analysis called quadratic analysis. These are the 2 points that I will be explaining in this short video. Before starting the discussion on linear discriminant analysis for more than one variable, uh, let us let us review what we have seen in the previous video. I have explained the proof of a function called linear discriminant function, which is used to calculate the posterior probability or the classification probability, and used to assign the class labels when the input data is given. And uh, the algorithm works only when there is single input variable is present, and I explained the working of the linear discriminant analysis algorithm with the help of a coronary heart disease dataset. The linear discriminant analysis uses a discriminant function, and this is the linear discriminant function that we have seen, and it calculates a value or the discriminant value for the number of class labels that are available. For the binary classification, there are two class labels are there, and two class labels value of the two class labels is compared. If the and the largest the class label having the largest discriminant function value is assigned as the class label. This linear discriminant analysis works on the tries to estimate the posterior probability or the classification probability based on Bayes theorem and probability density function. We have seen the proof of linear discriminant function in the previous video. And this function assumes that the input data has Gaussian distribution. So this is the assumption that is assumed for the working of linear discriminant analysis. Now the objective of this lesson is to explain the LDA when number of predictors or the input variables are greater than 1. Let us take one example in which we are going to predict or classify the final year students whether they are employable or not. If the student is employable, then the class label 1 is assigned. If the student is not employable, then the class label 0 is assigned. And this classification, for doing this classification, we are going to use three different very features called CGPA or the cumulative grade point average. Then second feature that we are using is the communication skill of the student, and the third feature that we are going to use is the computer programming skill. And all these skills are evaluated on the scale of 0 to 10, and the higher the number, the higher the skill of the student is. And this based upon these three different features, we are going to assign whether the student is employable or not. So this is one example of a classification problem when there are more than one input features are available. In the previous example, there was only one input feature was there, that was the age, and from the age we have calculated whether the patient or whether the person is suffering from a coronary heart disease or not. So that was the single input variable classification problem, and this is the multiple variable classification problem. and this is also known as multivariate linear discriminant analysis. Before going to explain the actual working of multivariate linear discriminant analysis, it is based upon one of the statistical concept called covariance matrix, and here I am going to define what does it mean by a covariance matrix. A covariance matrix is a square matrix giving the covariance between each pair of elements of a given random vector. And here the covariance formula to calculate the covariance of two different para attributes or the two different features is given. It is nothing but the summation. It is the sum of product of difference between the average value and the individual value divided by the n. So here there are three different features are there, that is the marks scored by the students in three different subjects like math, English and art, and these are the marks of five different students, and the student scores marks in the range between 0 to 100, and this is the covariance matrix. This covariance matrix is calculated by using this formula. This is the formula for calculating LDA, and the rows and the columns are the of the this matrix represent the covariance between the two different. Now, for example, the covariance between the math and English is 360. The covariance between math and art is 180. The and covariance between English and art is 0, and English and math is 360. So like this. Higher the number means that those are highly correlated, or they vary simultaneously. This covariance is used to check the relation, the direction of relationship between two variables. Like in this particular example, suppose the direction of this relationship between the math and English is the positive one. That is the math 360 marks are there. So this is the way in which one can calculate the covariance matrix. There are many mathematical programming libraries are there which helps you to calculate the covariance matrix. Now, in multivariate linear linear discriminant analysis, the assumptions that we are making is that there are n number of p number of input features are there, and here the p means the number of features. For example, in case of the employability data set, this is the 4-dimensional vector, and this data set has the characteristics of the Gaussian distribution for each individual variable. Like means that the communication skill has the Gaussian distribution. Similarly, the CGPA also has the Gaussian distribution. Similarly, the computer programming also has the Gaussian distribution. So all the individual features has the Gaussian distribution. The feature vector has some correlation between each pair of the predictors. Means there is the correlation is present between the individual input vectors. So these are the two assumptions on which the multivariate linear discriminant analysis algorithm works. Here I am giving the discriminating function for the multivariate linear discriminant analysis without any proof, and I am going to explain the meaning of individual term in this equation. This is the discriminating function for the multivariate linear discriminant analysis. Here the x means the input vector or the input feature vector to be classified. T means here the transpose of the matrix operation, means you take here the xt means that take the transpose of the input vector. Then here the sigma, don't read it as the summation operator, it is the sigma alphabet in the Greek alphabet. Sigma stands for the covariance matrix. The covariance matrix is calculated like this. So this is the covariance matrix, means this is the our sigma. Take the inverse of the covariance matrix, mu k. Here the mu k, like in the previous linear discriminant, mu k stands for the mean vector for the class labeled as k. Means you need to group our the given data set per class basis. We have seen one example in the how to calculate the mu k in the previous example. If there are two class labels are there, then there are two mean vectors are there. One is for mu 0 and another is for mu 1. If there are p number of input vectors are there, p number of classification vector, if the three classifications labels are there, then three mean vectors are there, like this. So mu k means that minus half of mu k's transpose. Mu k's transpose means take the transpose of mean vector, then multiply it with the sigma, that is the inverse of the covariance matrix. Then this mu k means the mean vector. Add the log of pi k. Pi k here is the prior probability. And how to calculate the prior probability means the randomly selected observation in the data set belongs to the class k. So that is the meaning of the uh, prior probability. And we have seen how to calculate the prior probability in our previous video. So this is the formula that is used to calculate the discriminating function when there are more than one input feature are there. And as we have seen that if there are two binary classification, we get two different delta function, one corresponds delta values, one discriminating function values, one corresponding to delta 0 and another corresponds to delta 1. If the delta 0's value is greater than the delta 1, then the class 0 is assigned. If delta 1's value is greater than the 0, then class 1 is assigned. So this is the rule for assigning the class labels. And here this function is we are going to making the differentiation between the class labels. That's why it is called as the discriminating function. Now there is a modified form of the linear discriminant function is called as the quadratic discrimination analysis. Now in the previous example, what we have seen that there was only one sigma or the covariance matrix is there, and it is shared by all the class levels. Now this quadratic discriminating analysis, there are more than one sigma are present or more than one covariance matrix are present, and this covariance matrix now is for one for each class label. If there are k class labels are there, then there are k covariance matrix are there. And when you are calculating the covariance matrix for per class basis, then the discriminating function that is used takes this form. This form. Here the discriminating function reads like this: minus half of xt means take the transpose of the input vector. Sigma k inverse means that the class label for which you are calculating the delta value, take the inverse of that covariance matrix, multiply it with x, plus take the transpose of x, then take the inverse, multiply it with the inverse of covariance matrix corresponding to the class K multiplied with the mu K. Like this, you need to expand the third term also, and the fourth term is simple to calculate, that is the absolute, that is the determinant of the covariance matrix sigma K, log of determinant of the sigma plus log of pi K. Here the sigma K means the class level specific covariance matrix. The difference between the QDA and the LDA is that in case of the QDA, there are more than one covariance matrix are present, whereas in case of the LDA, there are only one covariance matrix is there. Now here, I would like to explain why the linear discriminant analysis function is called linear and why the quadratic discriminating analysis function is called as the quadratic. See here, this is the function used for LDA, and this LDA is nothing but here the term x is present and there is no x is present in this term, and there is no x is present in this term. So this term is can be written like this also, delta x of x equal to y mx plus c, which is the nothing but this is the m times x, where the m is this much and this is the x. So mx plus c. So this is the delta value is directly proportional to the x, and that's why it is called as the linear. This has the linear relationship, and that's why it is called as the linear function. Why it is the discrimination function? It is discriminating between the, we are using it, the values calculated for, by this function to discriminate between the class levels, and that's why it is called the discriminating function. So this is the linear discriminating function. Why this is called as the quadratic discriminating function? If you read the in this equation, there are two x's are there, which is nothing but the x square, and this is only one x is present, x. There is no x is present in this term, there is no x is present in this fourth term, there is no x is present in the fifth term. So this equation may be like, it takes in the form of like y equal to ax square plus bx plus c and so on. So this is the quadratic function, and that's why this function is called as the quadratic discrimination analysis function. So this is all about linear discriminating and the quadratic discriminating analysis. Thank you.